So the next part is about handling masses of identifiers in DITA. So identifiers, well, I'm a software developer, and I think many of you are also experienced. So source code consists about 80% of identifiers, like the name of a function, the name of a variable, and stuff like this, and only very small other parts. So it's actually not that surprising that when I'm documenting software, I will also use quite a lot of identifiers. The name of a database table, the name of a function, the servers, and stuff like this. So, of course, well, it's possible in DITA. Well, of course it is. But from my feeling and my experience as a software developer, it's not very comfortable. And when I'm talking about handling masses of identifiers, well, in our documentation framework, we have 12,000 different identifiers registered. And I know I'm well aware of solutions with concref and stuff like this that you can create manually. But even the idea of creating manually 12,000 key refs and then selecting from a list of 12,000 elements the right one, I wouldn't call it a solution. So yeah, again, my demonstration, what I'm talking about. Well, maybe, is it wrong? This is right. Okay. So if maybe not everybody is familiar with programming, so I just give you an impression about, let's take some development environment, some randomly chosen one, Oxygen, for instance, 4xSLT, to give you an idea what common tools for programming provide. And this is not something new. It's what I'm used to for the last 15 to 20 years. So if I have here, I'm start typing and I want to refer to some variable, well, immediately I just press this $sign and I get content completion for the possible values. I have two variables defined, or I start typing a function and I get support, or I get call a template. So from the context, it's already clear because, well, Oxygen knows the semantics of this programming language. It knows, well, here, if I start with a $sign, only a variable can follow. If I start here, only a function can follow. And here, if I call template, only a template can follow. So it knows the type of identifier, and it also provides some syntax highlighting. So it displays every identifier, depending on the type, in a different way. And this is, well, it's common usage in programming languages, not in DITA. And I'm more a programmer than a writer, so I want this comfort also in DITA. And I didn't find it, so I implemented something. I have prepared another one. So now I'm in the map context. So I have here a map where I have, again, my table from the previous one presentation. And I have some text. Now I want to refer in my text, because I'm describing some service, I want to refer to this table. Well, how I can do it? I can create a cross-reference, but this is like go to line something. So I don't refer to some identifier. I have to refer to a position in my document. This is not state of the art. So I need a better solution. And since this work with this adding information by default attributes, why not do it also for my implicit key definitions? So I have another namespace. It's called IK with the prefix IKD. So implicit key definition. And the most important part is I have to define a key type. So I'd say this key type is a database table. So that's for now all. So I will go back to my person and refresh it. And well, what happened? So first, a key symbol appears. Well, it's not that great. And also, the display changed. So actually it shouldn't yet, but well, you've already seen it. Well, syntax highlighting is supported because I've set the attribute default for the key type to be a database table, and within my map I'm referring to a file where I defined all the key types. Sorry, right there. Okay, so here I defined all my key type definitions. So a database table should look like this. Code font, yes, not italic, and a prefix in angular bracket and a suffix as well. So automatically I have provided some syntax highlighting. Now I want to refer to it. So first I use a custom reference element. It's a key cross-reference. I have this dialog, so it will show here. It's a broken link yet, it's not working, but I have here my button, so I can choose from a list. And I see immediately, well, my database. Oh, I were it's behaving strange. Just a second, I have to refresh the cache. Well, it's a problem if you test it right before the presentation and you don't clear everything. Okay, so now my person is now visible with the database table. And I can select it. So, done. Well, the link is not working. It shows, okay, I have a valid reference, but the link is not working because I'm not done yet. So there's more I can do. I have quite some more attributes I can set. For instance, well, the linking works depends on an ID. And my name element has no ID, so I cannot link to an element that has no ID, but my root element has. And actually, so I'm not referring the name element, but I'm referring the table. The name is just the key of this table. So what I actually want is, I want the root of my definition to be the table element. So I declare another, oh, that's not CBA, it's AKD, root. And I say refer to the parent table. Well, and when we're already there, just add some more. Well, I also want to provide some information. My table has a short description. So when in my dialog, I want to see the short description. So I can add another attribute defining an XPath expression to a description. Well, based on the root element, and it's here very short, it's the desk element. Well, did I miss anything? Probably, but let's take a look how it looks like now. I'm again refreshing. There. So, okay, now again in my dialog. It worked, great. Okay, so now I have my person. I have again here on the bottom side, I have some more information. So the description, and now if I use a text search, well, it makes not much sense to search a list with one item, but believe me, it works also for more items. So if I look for people, well, it finds this one. Okay, so now the referencing works. How long do I have yet? Okay, well okay, one more piece, because now I have implicit key definition and I have a generic reference to this. But another use case is when I'm in semantic DITA-XML, that I want to have also semantic references. So I will show you just very quickly another sample. Now I have in my DITA map another sample. I have added additional tables. So I have also a table company, well, it's a very primitive table, and a person, and some dummy table within a different namespace schema. And I want in my person has an additional column, company ID. And I want to add a relation that my company ID refers to an entry within the table company. So can here in my relation section, I can add a relation. I can add some name for it, relation person to company. And now I want to have to say to which table and by which column. And here I can only refer to a table within the namespace. This is the semantic reasoning. And in my attributes, I've set this element. I have a filter. So well, I'm not at the right place. Okay, here. So AKR, advanced keyref, I have defined that the namespace should be the same namespace as I am. Again, it's specified as an XPath expression. And also, my type, it needs to be a database table. I cannot refer to a column or to whatever. I can only refer to this one. So if I open my dialog, I see only exactly two keys that are matching. While in the same with the column, it's even context sensitive. So I can only refer to some columns that are described in my current table. Well, company SD is the right one. So again, it's working, and I can jump to the definition. And also the syntax highlighting is working. Here you see I have the angular brackets because it's a table. Here I just have the code phrase font because it's a column. Well, I'm out of time. I hope I could sell the story. Still, there's room. Oh no, just maybe. I'm almost done. Don't worry. Well, this was this one. Okay, so conclusion. What is this good for? Well, it helps a lot with the consistency because, well, you can just write code phrase and the name of the table, but you have no relation to the actual definition. So it helps a lot that you can ensure the consistency so that the identifier you are referencing really exists. So, and this in every variant of your possibly filtered document. And also that you don't only put those definitions that are referenced from anywhere. And the styling, according by the type, it's done automatically. And you can do semantic constraints on the references. So it helps the author and also ensures consistency. And it's a great assistance for the author. So you don't have to explicitly define any keys. It's done automatically by the framework. And you have support for selection. Yeah, I've just shown how you can do it by dialog. It's also possible, or will be very soon, just by keyboard. When the identifier you typed is already unique, you're done. You don't have to do any additional work. And again, it's supported by the open source plugin, resolved to standard cross-references. And again, your chance for questions. Well, I'm here for the next 2 days if you are more relaxed and you can come. Thanks.